Hi, and good evening, and welcome to Thursday's show. It's the day of September. Above average we were again, weather-wise. I do have some newly adjusted daytime highs in for the latter half of your weekend. Sunday right now stands to be right around 76 degrees, and that's following a cold front which is getting closer, bringing about some chances for showers. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. We'll also talk about how you'll notice the cooler air start to filter in Saturday night. Nighttime lows Saturday night will be about 10 degrees lower than where they have been for the past several days, and tonight and tomorrow night, and then that 76-degree Sunday will follow, and we'll talk about the weather thereafter and the rain chances before and after a beautiful latter half to your weekend, we'll say. Headlines tonight will include: you can't drive by Donald Trump standing alongside 460 and not stop to make a news story out of it, and that's what we did earlier today, speaking with a few folks. The Battle of Middle Creek coming this weekend, starting tomorrow, the big day for all the kids. Trying to find out more about the Goodyear blimp, a few pictures maybe to share as it made a trip over eastern Kentucky, the viewing area specifically earlier today, and a McGoffin County man, unless he violates his parole, will not do any jail time related to a homicide charge as it pertained to an ATV fatality that took place sometime back in McGoffin County. We'll go over that complete report and others in much more detail in just a few moments. One headline, and it's not a good one before all of that, and it's another hit for the coal industry, Eastern Kentucky, which of course is seeing the worst part of it. More layoffs have been announced. Specifically, Alpha Natural Resources has reportedly sent warn notices to almost 120 employees at Sidney Coal in Pike County. Specifically, we're told that 117 workers at Sidney Coal will be losing their jobs. They're idling that mining operation next month, and it's just the latest hit to the coal industry, once again hitting eastern Kentucky absolutely the hardest. We'll get to our other headlines in a minute. Tonight's first story this evening is a plea agreement that has been reached in McGoffin County Court in the reckless homicide charge against a McGoffin County man who was reportedly operating an ATV on Gun Creek in June of last year, in which his passenger was killed in a fiery crash.
This was the scene that night of June the 6th of 2015. An ATV, specifically a Polaris Razor 800 side-by-side being operated by Courtney Conley, crashed after Conley came around a curve in the Ivington area at the top of the hill seen here. The ATV then struck a tree and a utility pole as it left the roadway, catching fire as it plummeted over the hill. Conley was thrown from the ATV and found on top of the hill by EMS personnel when they arrived, and was not seriously or did not receive any life-threatening injuries. However, it was quickly learned that he had a passenger with him. His passenger, E.J. Gamble Jr. of Sagersville, was unable to escape the burning vehicle, and EMS pronounced him dead at the scene as a result of the fire and the crash. Earlier, Conley entered a guilty plea to an amended charge after first being charged with reckless homicide in the death of his friend Gamble. He pled guilty to an amended charge of second-degree wanton endangerment. That is a Class D or a Class A, misdemeanor. The reduction of the charge and the subsequent plea agreement was made at the recommendation of the Commonwealth's attorney in McGoffin County. Per that plea agreement, Conley was sentenced to 365 days in jail. However, that sentence was probated for a total of 24 months. An additional part of that agreement prevents Conley from having any contact with the father of the deceased, Mr. Edgar Gamble, father of E.J. Gamble, or anyone from Gamble's immediate family as well. Meaning, unless he were to violate his parole, he will serve no jail time in the case. I'll be right back.
For high-speed internet starting at 15 meg for all of your gaming, movie, home, and business solutions, or to watch TV, including your favorite local channels without a contract, with hundreds of channels and digital and HD quality, and to stay connected 24/7 with friends and family, a direct line to 911, or to give your business the link it needs, choose telephone service you know is always there. Just click on their link on this site to find out how affordable the latest technology in communications can be. Foothills Communications. Polls and opinions, political agendas, campaigns, and emails. Certainly a topic of discussion when you talk about the ongoing presidential race between two of the most unpopular candidates, as they have been referred to maybe ever run for the office or to run for the office of president in quite some time. You wouldn't know that by how much the nation and the world are talking about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and their campaigns. But tonight we're talking not so much about their campaign, Well, that wasn't the purpose for my stop. However, the folks that I stopped to talk to were willing to talk about the campaign, specifically after I stopped alongside the road in Johnson County after seeing a life-size Donald Trump standing along US 460. Perhaps more than any other presidential campaign that I can recall, and I can't really recall any others in this specific area, mind you, where we've seen so many campaign stands start to pop up. Mostly here in this area, it's been Trump tents selling merchandise, everything from buttons to banners to flags and t-shirts. But when I saw a life-size Donald Trump on the side of the road at the junction of 40 and 460 in Johnson County, I had to stop, thinking that this is certainly a news story. And in doing so, I talked with a man and some of his customers about why they were there today.
I've been 7,000 miles in the past 40 days. From southern Florida to Sturgis. It's a kick because you meet great people, all right? There's no stupid heads, other than the ones that need to go to school, all right? And, there's a lot of positions on this, of course, the Supreme Court, people are tired of career politicians. We need infrastructure projects. That means we need coal, we need steel, right? We want to be energy, independent. And a whole variety of things. They've been butting heads up on Capitol Hill for so long, it's terrible. Let's get something done. Let's get the presidency, let's appoint the cabinet, and then let's take Capitol Hill. The people deserve it.
And I'm not making an attempt to sway or influence, but it was kind of hard to get a few minutes to speak with Mr. Leopold for all the people who were stopping by and checking out his merchandise, most all of which left with something in a bag in their hand, and most all of which were willing to talk about the election and the campaign, including two Sitka residents who were very sure of how they were going to vote.
We're Trump supporters. We believe that Trump's going to make this country the way it needs to be, and I believe that if our founding fathers knew how our country was now, that we wouldn't even have fought for our independence. So I just think our country's gone to crap, and I think Trump's the man that will bring it back. I just think Hillary has just lied too much, and she's just...
We have to have some kind of change. The way that it's going now and the way that it has been in the past, it's not working.
It's a great thing, promoting and enjoying the people we meet. How about a guy that wants to make America great?
I just think that we need a change.
We need a big change.
And a little FYI before we wrap up this report, the Trump shop is going to be wrapping up its visit in Eastern Kentucky tomorrow. They'll be at that location the rest of this evening and tomorrow at the junction of 460 and 40 in Johnson County. And from there, Anthony tells me they're headed on to West Virginia, adding some more miles onto the clock for the remainder of the campaign. And as for the life-size Donald Trump, for $75, Anthony says you can take him home with you. And before anyone has a chance to say, well, why didn't you stop by the Clinton campaign tent and find out more? I just haven't seen one. I'm not saying if that means anything or not, just that I haven't seen one. Maybe we will before the campaign's over. And he still had a few of the cardboard cutouts left, $75 once again, whether you wanted to proudly display it or maybe throw darts at it. That's up to you. I'll be right back.
It's almost here. In fact, it starts tomorrow. The Battle of Middle Creek is almost here. The school day event is tomorrow, and it's something for kids of all ages, and it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. In fact, during our Heritage Day Parade, which, if I have no breaking news, we might try to work into coverage tomorrow, by the way. But going back to our Heritage Day Parade, you may have seen a whole lot of members of the Friends of Middle Creek making a trip through Sagersville as part of our own Heritage Day Parade. They were doing so in an effort to support, of course, our local community and their reenactment, which begins tomorrow and lasts throughout the weekend. A couple of Friends of Middle Creek wanted to be sure and take an opportunity to tell us more. And we wanted to be sure and give that opportunity to them.
So I literally pulled them out of the parade for a quick interview. Michael Warricks, president of the Friends of Middle Creek, who hosts the annual Battle of Middle Creek, tells us that this year's battle starts taking place tomorrow with the school day event and the two battles Saturday and Sunday with a full week of free fun, all for the family as well, everyone of all ages. Do we mention free and fun? And, you can't help but think that it's not going to be educational, too, because indeed it is. Fun and educational don't often go together, but they do when it comes to the Battle of Middle Creek.
Friday, which is the 9th, is our school days for all regional schools and area schools, whether it be public, private, or home. And that begins at 9 o'clock and runs to 2. And we'll have up to 12 to 18 different informational stations of the era, from blacksmithing to soap making, woodworking, ladies' perspective, soldiers' drills, as many as people as we could get that had information about the year. We'll set that up for stations for the kids. That proceeds us into Saturday. Saturday we'll have our battle festivities and our Civil War weekend, and we'll have up to 50 to 60 reenactors with tents and uniforms, ladies with in bells and their gowns. And we'll have the battles at 2 for both days. Saturday and Sunday are very similar. Saturday we have a dinner, and then that preceding is a dance. That's separate from Sunday. And Sunday we have a battlefield church service, and that is, I think, at 11. And the First Church of God in Prestonsburg and their congregation will come and preside over that. And their congregation members show up in outfit and uniform to help with the posterity of the event, but it's not a requirement. But if you'd like to dress up to attend, everybody's more than welcome.
And you might remember when I covered the last reenactment here in Magoffin County, one of the soldiers that I spoke to in that interview was a local young man, thrilled to have been a part of it. And now that young man's mother says it's been a wonderful thing for young John Martin Conley, and they are looking forward to this weekend at Middle Creek for a whole lot of reasons.
We enjoyed it, and since then he has taken a huge interest in this. We started with his first reenactment in April, and this will actually be his third one this year. We traveled to the breaks earlier in April, and he done that both Saturday and Sunday, and then we're looking very forward to this one being local and right here at home. It's just a little 20-mile trip from the house, and it'll be a great thing to bring your kids out. And like Michael said, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so there's plenty to do for you all 3 days. Everything is free.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is free, and that's something that I know this day and time is very hard to come by, is what do you do? There's nothing to do, that you can't go out, and it's not very expensive, so this is free. And so bring your children out. It's very educational. John Martin has learned so much, and myself as well. Of course, I'm in this bell dress simply for him, and he is out there in his full Civil War attire. So, you do what you do for your children. But definitely come out next weekend and check out this event, because it will be wonderful.
The school day events once again start tomorrow morning at 9, and battles both Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And keep in mind, they've been doing this for a while, and it is an outstanding turnout from all the reenactors, and they will indeed have something for everyone. And weather-wise, it's going to be really nice as well. You're going to have a little warmth Saturday, and it's going to be nice and cool Sunday. So pick a day and check out the Battle of Middle Creek. Check us out right after a word or two. I'll be right back.
It's been perhaps 10 years ago, maybe even longer. I'm not even for certain, but it's been a long time since the last time I can recall, and I believe it's the only other time since I've been doing this program, that the Goodyear blimp made a pass over Magoffin County in the viewing area that I was aware of and got some pictures of. Well, today I wasn't looking up at the right time, but some viewers were, and they sent us some pictures.
From afar, my neighbor, good friend, and Subway owner, Ginger Oney, sent this picture. She and Dan saw it, or someone saw it, I believe, while they were at the Subway, obviously. I know it made a trek over Sayersville. I've had a couple of other folks send me some pictures, all from a similar angle and distance. So I thought I immediately would go to the Goodyear Blimp's website, and it would tell me exactly which air machine it was and where it was en route to. And as far as I could tell, they have that ability, but it hadn't been updated since July, which maybe not feel as bad about trying to keep my website updated on a daily basis. So I can't really tell you where it was headed, and only that it passed over the viewing area. I can tell you that the website lists 3 blimps right now: Wingfoot 1, Spirit of America, and Spirit of Innovation. The 2 are older units. The Wingfoot 1 is a newer model, just built in the last few years. Not technically a blimp, but a semi-rigid airship built in Akron, Ohio, the first one to be built there. And to give you a little bit of comparison about the old blimps versus the new semi-blimp, the old ones were about 192 feet in length. Wingfoot 1, 250. The old one's 50 feet wide. The new one, Wingfoot 1, 65 feet wide. The old ones will come in at about 12,000 pounds. Wingfoot 1, 20,000 pounds. And the old blimps would travel at, which are still in operation, a few of them, 50 miles per hour. Wingfoot 1 will hit 73 miles per hour in fair conditions. It also seats twice as many people at 14. I just can't tell you any more than that. Thought we would have a little more to add by airtime. All we know is that we think it was headed south. You got any other good pictures to share? Let me know. Maybe it landed in your backyard. Maybe. Who knows? Share them with us. A few announcements and reminders real quickly on the calendar. Financial Peace University with Dave Ramsey starts this Monday. It's a 9-week program at the New Bethel Assembly of God. Call 349-7843 to register and to find out more about becoming financially sound with God's help and the help of those at New Bethel Assembly of God. Couple of other ones real quickly I don't have typed in. A reminder that the Pastor Lindsay Mead and everyone at First Community Baptist Church on Route 40 wants to welcome all singers and musicians to come and be a part of a gospel sing this Saturday night at 7, and everyone else to come and participate and be in the audience. So to everyone out there, you're invited to a extra special, and I suspect extra large gospel singing this Saturday at 7 at First Community Baptist. And I think one more. I'll get this one typed in. It's got a few more. It's actually not until the 24th, but the Kearney Free Will Baptist Church has put together a fall-time ATV fellowship trail ride that is set for September the 24th. So I'll get that on the calendar tomorrow and remind you then. Turning to funeral service announcements for this Thursday, we have one just in honor of 74-year-old Jolene Conley. Jolene Prater Conley of State Road, who passed away on Tuesday of this week, preceded in death by her husband Glenn. She and Glenn were former owners of the Prater and Dunn Funeral Home, where many folks came to know them. Surviving is her daughter, Cassandra Shawn Stacy, and visitation in Jolene's honor starts after 5 o'clock tomorrow and then prior to services Saturday at noon. Visitation and services will be from the Saggersville Funeral Home, with burial following at the Highlands Memorial Gardens in Staffordsville. Once again, the passing of 74-year-old Jolene Prater Conley. That gives me just a second to wrap up the program tonight with your Licking Valley RECC outlook. We're still in the upper 80s here at the studio at the 6 o'clock hour shortly thereafter, and we'll see the upper 60s close to, if not over, the 70-degree mark for nighttime lows. Mostly cloudy skies. More clouds will be in the picture during the overnight, and a southwest wind 5 to 7 miles per hour. No word of precipitation tonight. Not expecting any. Won't be any. Tomorrow, however, with the cold front that is coming, we'll have mostly cloudy skies still predominant, and after about 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll start to work in a 40% chance of some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Not so much for tomorrow night, when clouds should lighten up just a bit, give us partly cloudy skies for the end of your Friday, and a low of 69. For your Saturday, showers and thunderstorms likely. This is when the cold front gets much closer, and you'll know it by Saturday night. In fact, 87 and 60 for your daytime highs. Look at that nighttime low. About 10 degrees cooler on Saturday night. That's right, 10 degrees cooler, so we will see that cold front already take effect Saturday night with those showers and thunderstorms likely late, and I'm talking maybe not in the late afternoon, but in the evening and before maybe 2 or 3 a.m. The good news is that those late Saturday showers are gone on Sunday, and check it out. Cooler air prevails. 76 and 56 for your high and low for the latter half of your weekend. Sunny and clear. Sunny and clear Monday and Tuesday, and temperatures will start to climb back up out of the lower and into the mid-60s. We'll go.
And that's going to wrap it up for tonight's show. Once again, if we can work it into tomorrow night's programming, we'll have coverage of the Heritage Day Parade. I'm not making any promises as of yet. It kind of depends on how much breaking news that we may have. Right now, that's what we're scheduling. So, as always, just be sure and tune in and find out what you're going to see only here on Your News Today. For now, thank you for watching, and have a good night.